Hi there guys, it's Mike from the Academy team, and today I'm having a look at something brand new from Olympus, and it's the first in their new lineup of cameras. This is the E-M1X. Olympus have very kindly given me a pre-production sample of the new E-M1X, and straight away, first impressions of this camera is it's super ergonomic. It's really comfortable to hold. We'll talk through the tech specs, and this camera is primarily aimed at sports and wildlife. Now, it's the middle of winter, early January here in the north of Scotland, so not many racetracks up here, so we've decided to go for the wildlife aspect. So we're out in the woods, I've got my backpack, so let's go and see what we can find. The ergonomics on this camera are fantastic. The integrated grip gives you lots of comfortable control if you're shooting portrait or landscape. They have improved the splash proofing, the freeze proofing, and the dust proofing, which makes this camera far more capable of going out and about in the wild. They've added the bracketing, focus, and drive functions to the outside of the camera, and they've just made the rest of the controls nice and raised, and they feel substantial. It's very much designed with maybe using gloves, which I might put mine on. This camera comes with, sealed under an O-ring, 2 UHS Speed Class 2 card slots, which will switch automatically or you can manage through your My Menu functions. And with the vertical grip comes more battery life. Now, it's not just one big battery, it is 2, well, quite big batteries. And you get 2 chargers in the box, so you can charge them independently, and you can obviously have multiple chargers so that you're not waiting for one battery to charge and then the other. This is a nice addition from Olympus and really thinking about the professional users. Overall, the externals of this camera are just lovely. I can't say it enough. I'm really enjoying using it. And now let's talk about some of the tech stuff inside. The internals on this new camera are great as well, with a 20.4 megapixel micro four thirds sensor run by twin processors, and the buffer on this camera can hold up to 248 shots when shooting continuous 15 frames per second. This is really good for capturing those burst moments and making sure you don't miss a thing. When you're out and about and you're taking photos, it's also good to know exactly the conditions where you were. So you've got GPS, compass, barometer, and a temperature gauge built in to the metadata of every photo you take. As I said, we are in the north of Scotland, and I am going to do some wildlife photos. Now, this camera being a bit of a special one for me to have a look at, I figured I would try and get some special wildlife. So for the more astute viewers, you may notice that we are here at Loch Ness, and I am going to try and get a photo of the most infamous wildlife possible, the Loch Ness Monster. I fancy my chances today. Okay, so maybe Loch Ness Monster's a little ambitious, but seeing as we have such a nice scene here, let's talk about another mode on this camera, which is the photo composite mode. This camera can take 2 different megapixels of composite, 50 and 80. So let's go for the big one and see just how much detail you can get with an 80 megapixel photo. So I'm going to kick this into high-res shot. I'm going to use the handheld method because I didn't take a tripod with me, and I'm going to set the time delay from when I press the shutter button to when it takes the high-res shot, and this helps you to minimize any camera shake you may have. So I'm going to do it handheld, so I'm going to do with a 1 second delay. I'm going to set that, and then I'm going to use this mountain, and I'm going to get the exposure, and in 3, 2. But once buffering is complete, you have a seriously high resolution image that you can see every detail of. The E-M1X has very advanced autofocus options, including fully customizable AF modes, full control over the size and area from the joystick on the back, and the new intelligent focus modes. These are particularly of interest to motorsports photographers, as the camera can identify and track formula, rally and motorcycles, as well as being able to track planes, trains and steam locomotives. Perfect for those fast-moving action shots. The image stabilization on this camera is the best that Olympus has had so far, with up to 7.5 stops of stabilization when using the 45mm f1.2 lens, and 6 points of image stabilization when using any of the Olympus Pro lenses. This is achieved through special algorithms and the new gyroscopic IS technology. So we've not had a lot of luck photographing the Loch Ness Monster today. It's a real shame. And so far I haven't been able to find much in the way of wildlife because the weather's not ideal to seeing anything today, unfortunately. So I'm going to photograph the wildest thing I can find, which is my cameraman James, so we can demonstrate the high speed and some of the video functionality of this camera. So James, let's get skimming some stones. So what are my first thoughts on the E-M1X? Well, I'm impressed. This is a fantastic new addition to the Olympus lineup. It's ergonomic, it's clever, it's techy, and it's very easy to use. I have had a lot of fun shooting with it today, even if I didn't get to shoot any wildlife or see the ever-elusive Nessie. If you want the full tech specs of this camera, they will of course be at jessops.com, and you can visit any one of our stores and talk to our guys in there. I'm now going to warm up with a wee cup of tea and get back in the warm afterwards. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, give us a like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching as always.